what kind of human being do you want your child to be? Do you want them to just keep their mouth shut and get that degree because, oh, that'll set up their whole future? Guess what? When they get a job, they're going to keep their mouth shut. They're not going to be a whistleblower because guess what? That's going to set up their future. And people are going to get away with crimes and crimes against humanity because we have raised our children, sadly, to be weak. Don't do it. I'm continuing my national tour of America's most prestigious universities. You know, those universities that charge hundreds of thousands of dollars a year and take in tens of millions of dollars in donations into their coffers and then teach your children how to be Marxists. Yes, those institutions of higher learning. And if you're watching me on YouTube, I feel like I look like I am in a padded cell or an insane asylum. I'm actually not. This is a very nice hotel room. It's just very small. I'm here in Cambridge, Massachusetts. It's absolutely a beautiful town. I mean, for those of you who have never had the opportunity to visit this really leftist little town here in Harvard and Harvard campus, it really is a beautiful place. I love Boston. For the most part, I love the people. They're tough and they're fun. But just on this side of the campus, it's like another side of the universe, right? Because right now, Claudine Gay, who is the president, who could not actually explain if calling for the genocide of Jewish people violated her campus's ethical rule of conduct, that person who has been in the center of all of the media for weeks now, you know, Liz McGill out of Penn, that's where I was yesterday, she's gone. But right now, Harvard is not budging. Harvard's board has decided to retain the services of President Gay. It's stunning. I was blown away. That this is okay. You're going to do this. You're going to keep her. I don't understand that. I'm with Bill Ackman, the CEO, who's like saying, I'm never going to donate again unless you get rid of her. I'm with all of the major CEOs, except I have no money. I cannot pressure them. I can just talk about it and just tell you how stunned I am that these institutions of supposed quote unquote higher learning are just all full of you know what. There's been a lot of talk about our college campuses, but only one show, the Sara Carter Show, is going on the ground to bring you the truth. I promise you, you do not want to miss this show. But first, I want to thank ExpressVPN. ExpressVPN, thank you so much for protecting me on my travels so that I can, you know, be in different places. If someone's trying to crack into my system, you know, they can't tell I'm in Boston. Some people, if you're trying to hack into my system, you know what? You're going to think I'm in Russia. You're not even going to know who I am. You're going to think I'm somewhere in South Africa. You're going to think I'm somewhere in Finland. You are not going to know. This Christmas, as you're pounding down potatoes and gravy, I want you to think about everything you've looked at on your phone in the last few days. Who is in charge of the Wi-Fi you've been enjoying all of that content on? Is it your dad, your sister-in-law, your grandmother? Well, guess what? That person has access to all of the websites you've been looking at. Pretty scary, huh? Well, not if you're boring like me, but unless you do what I do and use ExpressVPN. ExpressVPN is an app I have on my phone and my computer that encrypts all of my online traffic. So whatever I do stays private. And that is very important when you're an investigative journalist, investigative columnist, and you are investigating people. You don't necessarily want people to know what you are looking at, right? Because you want to protect that. And ExpressVPN can do that. By the way, if you think incognito mode will save you on your computer, think again. Incognito mode does nothing except hide your history from yourself. That's it. Right now, get ExpressVPN's special holiday offer. Go to expressvpn.com/Sara, S-A-R-A, right now, and you can get 3 extra months free. That's EXPRESSVPN.com expressvpn.com/Sara, S-A-R-A, expressvpn.com/Sara to learn more. Okay, I want to play you a clip. This is from last night's show on Fox News with Sean Hannity, my very good friend and the very best host, I believe, of all primetime shows. And we were at Penn asking students how they felt about the removal of President McGill and whether or not, and this is what stunned me. I know all of you out there who listen to the Sara Carter Show, and I believe this, that if I asked you, do you oppose genocide? Do you think calling for the genocide of Jews anywhere, whether it's on campus, in a grocery store, out in a park, do you believe that that is wrong? And do you believe that if you are on a campus, that would violate your school's code of conduct of hate against other people? It would probably be this quick, right? You'd say, yeah, absolutely. That's ridiculous. Calling for the genocide of any group of people is flat out unbelievable and wrong. Not anymore, folks. People are having a hard time answering that question. Our children, students at these prestigious universities, are having a difficult time coming to terms with right and wrong. There is no moral equivalency here. There is no debate as to whether or not some people feel that the genocide of Jews is okay. That shouldn't even be a debate, but it is. Take a listen to this. This is the answers that I got when I was at U Penn.
It was very difficult for her and the others to talk about, no, we do not accept genocide on campus as a form of speech.
Yeah, I think it's big news for a reason. I guess I haven't spoken about it with too many people at campus, and I don't really know how I feel about it.
Just because they're very scrutinized on a national level, I think, right now, and whatever they say, there's probably going to be a lot of commentary about it, so I think it was hard for them to answer, even though I don't think it should have been.
Could the campus then say, that's unacceptable? We don't accept a call for the genocide of a group of people.
Well, I think that's the question that Liz was asked, correct?
That's correct.
Yeah. And clearly there's heated opinions on both sides on this topic, and I don't really feel qualified to answer.
If someone stood up and called for the genocide of any group of people, that should not be tolerated on campus.
Right.
I expect people to not be violent. I can't say my personal, obviously, stance on genocide is against it, but I'm not going to force anybody my political views.
While her position is difficult, the question itself was not that difficult to answer.
My personal stance on genocide is that I am against it, but I'm not going to push my beliefs or my political views on anyone else. Genocide is not a political view. There are two sides. The person or the group that wants to eliminate the other people and the group through murder and death. That's it. That's it. It is pre-planned murder of an entire group of people. How is that even debatable? How is that even okay? This is so insane. I want you all to think about where we are at as a society. It was like slowly creeping, right? You can't judge someone. You got to let them be. Don't question what they're doing. What the heck is happening in our society where we are debating whether or not these sick, evil, despicable acts of humanity are just someone else's feelings or ideas or political points of view? How does this happen? It happens because of institutions like the one that I'm at right now, Harvard. It happens because of institutions like U Penn and MIT and other institutions where professors and extremists and radicals have embedded themselves into the institutions and have literally brainwashed our youth, our future leaders. Look, they can't even make a decision. I want to play this because, as much as I want, like, there were a lot of funny memes out there with there was this one, my friend Michelle posted on her Instagram. She's so funny. But Michelle posted, it's a package of Depends adult diapers. And it's like, how do you feel about genocide? And like the three, presidents of the university are sitting there with their hands all up in the air. Like, I don't know. And it depends, I guess. It depends. Right? That's how crazy this is. That was a meme. I want to play this clip to refresh your memory. And if you didn't listen to yesterday's show, I hope you do get a chance to listen to it. I played this clip there as well. Let's go ahead and play that clip, Cal.
And Dr. Gay, at Harvard, does calling for the genocide of Jews violate Harvard's rules of bullying and harassment? Yes or no?
It can be, depending on the context.
What's the context?
Targeted at an individual.
It's targeted at Jewish students, Jewish individuals. Do you understand your testimony is dehumanizing them? Do you understand that dehumanization is part of anti-Semitism? I will ask you one more time. Does calling for the genocide of Jews violate Harvard's rules of bullying and harassment? Yes or no?
Anti-Semitic rhetoric.
And is it anti-Semitic rhetoric?
Anti-Semitic rhetoric, when it crosses into conduct that amounts to bullying, harassment, intimidation, that is actionable conduct, and we do take action.
So the answer is yes, that calling for the genocide of Jews violates Harvard Code of Conduct, correct?
Again, it depends on the context.
It does not depend on the context. The answer is yes, and this is why you should resign. These are unacceptable answers across the board.
She's absolutely right. Congresswoman Stefanik is absolutely right. It is unheard of that the representative of one of the most prestigious universities on planet Earth, Harvard, cannot answer that simple question, cannot stand up to racism, even though, quote unquote, they're supposed to be the tolerant, progressive left. They're not. This is a lie. What's happened in our country over the past few decades has been a complete and utter breakdown of our system. It's not about tolerance. This is not about, accepting people for who they are, as you could see that they don't. It is okay if it fits their narrative to target an entire group of people. She said something that Stefanik really didn't. I would have gone further with the questions. President Gay, and her name, supposed to be tolerant. She's supposed to be tolerant. She's not. She's just not tolerant. She just hates Jews. This is about Jew hate. I don't even want to say anti-Semitism. But she kept saying that if those words lead to an action, then they violate the school policy. That's what I took from that whole back and forth mess. Lead to an action. So what are we waiting for? Like for somebody to actually be killed or hurt? And here's another point. I'm on campus. I'm at U Penn, and students are afraid. They don't want to say, oh yeah, that's anti-Semitic. That's anti-Jew. That's wrong. I'm standing up to it. We are literally raising future failed leaders. These are people, young people, who can't even answer or think for themselves. The whole point of coming to a prestigious university is so that you can build up your repository, right? Your brain with all of this knowledge, and with that knowledge, make decisions for yourself and decisions that hopefully benefit humanity. Like you see someone, like Elon Musk or others that have, like in the art world or in science, or, are trying to do these incredible works to further humanity, not to have us go backwards. But instead, when I asked the very same questions, many of the young people that I met, and I spent like maybe about 3 hours on the ground before the show, 3.5 hours, just talking to people on the freezing cold streets there, at U Penn. It was so cold. I got to tell you, my body isn't adjusting from Texas heat to back to East Coast cold at all. I was like a little popsicle out there. But I would literally lead them to the trough because I didn't want it to be gotcha. I was like, okay, is genocide wrong? Is it wrong? They just couldn't answer it. So it hit me. I was like a light bulb moment as I was standing out there. We are raising failed leaders or young people who will be looking to others for the answer. And those others could be just as bad as Claudine Gay. Just as bad. I mean, think about how dangerous that is. And I want to read something to you. And I don't know if a lot of you know who she is, but I absolutely adore Dr. Swain. She is with Heritage Foundation, and she is just brilliant. She is Black American. She is one of the top, I believe, political minds in the country. And she posted on X, and I retweeted her, it's Dr. Carol M. Swain. She said, I rarely get angry, but I am angry right now about the racial double standards that are temporarily given to Claudine Gay, and that are temporarily giving Claudine Gay an opportunity to resign. White progressives created her, and white progressives are protecting her. The rest of us had to work our rear ends off to achieve success. Some get it handed to them, and some get it handed to them. And then she hashtagged adversity of diversity, hashtag DEI, hashtag affirmative action, hashtag Harvard is anti-Semitic, and hashtag President Gay. If you get a chance, I'd like you to follow Dr. Carol M. Swain at Carol M. Swain on X. And she is absolutely right. She is 100% right. 100% right. It's staggering. Now, one of the questions I was asked when Sean had me on the show and I came on was, he said, and you guys didn't hear that, I didn't have that part of the clip. He said, hey, Sara, did you put the flag mic on? And that's a flag mic says Fox News right on it. And I did not. It was only because we did not have the flag mic. But Sean knows how dangerous it is sometimes. I put Fox News flag mic in a progressive town in one of these leftist, extremist, liberal cities, and I am immediately targeted. There is no doubt. I mean, the last time in New York, I had that flag mic on. I had people blowing pot in my face, coming up to me, smacking drums in my face. During the Palestinian pro-Hamas march, I had people doing the same, threatening me, yelling at me. One guy literally said he was going to rape me at that march. He kept throwing it out there. It was like the most unbelievable people I've ever seen in my life. And this is supposed to be the tolerant left. I have never once seen anything like that happen at a more conservative protest or rally. Never. Not even from conservatives to the left. I've just never witnessed anything like that. So no, I don't always carry my flag mic with me when I'm out here behind the scenes, only because, even though I have security, I'm trying to take into account the situation, and I don't want to incite anything, but I never, ever lie. I always tell people, yeah, I'm with Fox News. My name is Sara Carter. I'm with Fox News on Sean Hannity tonight. Everybody knows that. That's a fact. And usually I do carry my flag mic, which is why I've been in trouble and I've had people come after me. It's crazy. It's crazy, but that's the world that we live in right now. And I'm going to tell you, the students were fantastic. Some of them that I talked. I mean, the fact that they even talked to me was to me good. It's a sign that we're moving in the right direction. So I'm not going to be like completely negative on this. Okay. I was still stunned, but I think it is a virus. We've had Gad Saad on this program before on my podcast. He wrote The Parasitic Mind. And Gad Saad is very correct. He said the only inoculation against this ideological virus is the truth. And we're not going to win by shutting doors on people's faces. We're only going to win, and by I mean eradicating the virus. Eradicating the virus completely is by telling the truth and by listening and by explaining and by exposing the truth, because the truth is the greatest disinfectant, and that will set people free. But guys, if you remain quiet, if you're afraid of being ostracized or censored, that's where the virus wins. That's where the virus takes over and starts creepy crawling all over town. You cannot remain silent. I cannot remain silent. And right now, the fact that the board is sticking by Gay, President Gay, I'm stunned. I'm stunned. I'm going to read you something because the highest governing board at Harvard University says that President Claudine Gay will remain in office, rejecting calls that should be removed after a congressional testimony on anti-Semitism sparked outrage among lawmakers, alumni, and donors. This is what was said. Our extensive deliberations affirm our confidence that President Gay is the right leader to help our community heal and to address the very serious societal issues we are facing. It's such bullshit. It's such BS. We also have people like, and I want to make sure we go to these guys because they are really incredible. Billionaire hedge fund CEO Bill Ackman, along with other business leaders that are demanding that Claudine Gay be removed from her position, or they're going to just cut off the funds. These billionaires are going to cut off the funds. We do not want people like Claudine Gay and others basically allowing the rise of this anti-Semitic rhetoric. We do not need that in our universities. We have to be very well aware of what is happening with our children and their education, because, folks, this isn't about just, oh, I've got a degree from Harvard. Right now, David Portnoy says he isn't hiring anybody from Harvard anymore since they have decided to keep Claudine Gay there. Some of these universities are going to learn a very hard lesson, and I think some of them are going to have to backtrack. They really, really are. They're going to have to backtrack. But the billionaires are going to pull their money away. And as parents, I think we need to make a very real decision as to what we want for our children and what they stand for. Remember when I said a little bit earlier that we are not raising leaders? I want you to think about that. What kind of human being do you want your child to be? Do you want them to just keep their mouth shut and get that degree because, oh, that'll set up their whole future? Guess what? When they get a job, they're going to keep their mouth shut. They're not going to be a whistleblower because guess what? That's going to set up their future. And people are going to get away with crimes and crimes against humanity because we have raised our children, sadly, to be weak. Don't do it. Money and status and power are not everything in the world. And you're thinking about it all wrong. Power is when you have control of your own life, of your own spirit. When you're not afraid to stand up is when you are truly free and liberated. When you are not afraid to speak out and tell someone, I'm sorry, that is wrong. I'm sorry. No, you cannot kill that child. I'm sorry. No, you cannot say that you want the genocide of an entire group of people. You could say it, but we're not going to let you do it because we're going to stand up and fight you. I'm sorry, but it is unacceptable in this university to threaten someone because of the color of the skin or because of who they are. When you raise a child to do that, you've been a success. If you've raised your child to keep their mouth shut and just do whatever society wants them to do because that's the way to get through, then you've raised a kid that will be unhappy and someone that will live their life under the shoe of somebody else. You know, I think about the story of the Bible, of the Last Supper. I think about these things every once in a while. Yes, I do. But I think about the fact that when Jesus Christ was talking to all of his disciples and he was saying, to Peter, before this cock crows 3 times, before this cock crows at midnight, you will deny me 3 times. And he just thought, no way, I'm not going to do that. Why would I do that? I can't do that to you. I follow you. Think about how easy it is for us to be afraid and to run in the other direction. But also think about this. We always have the opportunity to make it right. We always have the opportunity to stand up and do the right thing. And that's why I'm out here today at Harvard. I'm going to get yelled at. I'm going to be ignored. I'm going to be told that I don't want to answer your questions. And then I'm going to get some people that will want to answer those questions. And some of those people will have really great answers. And some of those people will give me faith, in humanity again. And that's what we need. We need people that are willing to stand up and speak out. And that, my friends, is you, no doubt. I'll be appearing live tonight on Sean Hannity at Fox News, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So be sure to tune in to Fox News. And before I go, I'd like to thank MyPillow. The gift-giving season is upon us, and what a better way to spread joy than with the gift of comfort and good sleep. I'm going to get some for my son. Don't tell him. I'm ordering all of this stuff for his new apartment. And I'm going to do it through Mike Lindell and MyPillow. Free shipping right now with the code Carter, CARTER. That's code Carter. Go to mypillow.com. That's mypillow.com. Some of the savings, 50% off MyPillow 2.0, 15% off 6 pillow towel sets, 50% off My Mattress Toppers 2.0. And guess what? Original My Slippers that are regularly $139.98 are now only $49.98. So whether you're playing Santa for your loved ones or treating yourself, the time to save is now. Visit mypillow.com/Carter, that's CARTER, and enter code Carter at checkout to get free shipping on your entire order. Go to mypillow.com/Carter, code Carter, mypillow.com/Carter. Please make sure you are subscribed to the Sara Carter Show here on your favorite podcast app. It really does help. Leave a 5-star rating and a review wherever you listen to your podcast. And I've got so many more special guests coming up. I've got some great lineups for the new year. Keep following the podcast, share it with your family and friends, and follow me on Truth at Sara Carter Official, on X at Sara Carter DC, and on Instagram at SCarterDC. God bless you. God bless our great nation. God bless the future, our children's future, and the future of this great nation. And God bless the great state of Texas. I'll be home soon.